Welcome back to Further Solutions Academy. Further Solutions Academy. Encourage us more to share our video and also subscribe. If you have not subscribed before, kindly press your subscribe button for direct updates. We have over 300 videos on our channel. It means you can come here and learn any topic of interest, and they are all comprehensive: mathematics, physics, and chemistry. Just in case you need our online class or you want to reach us, you can make use of this. You can comment below, or you make use of this line. Now, with this line, you can call us, you can WhatsApp us, and also Telegram is allowed, either of the three. You can make use of those things and to verify. And that is all. You can reach us. Now, let me give a question that will really explain this part very well. And that question will be in form of, now look at this question from one of our past questions on my past question. I have this question for you for us to play with, and I think 2012 WAEC. Now the question is given to us this form, and you are asked to work on it. How can we work on it? The question says that copy and complete the table from the relation y equals to 2 sine 3x minus 1. Using, that is first part of the question. Second part of the question, which is B, using a scale of 2 centimeters to 30 degrees on x-axis and 1 centimeter to 1 unit on y-axis. On the y-axis, draw the graph of y equals to 2 sine 3x minus 1 from 0 degree to 180 degree. On the same axis, draw the graph of y equals to 1 all over 180 bracket of x minus 360 close bracket. B, draw your graph to find 1, the value of x for which 2 sine 3x minus 1 equals to 0. 2, root of the equation y 2 sine 3x minus x all over 180 plus 1 equals to 0. Now look at how it is. Everything you are to do must be on the graph book. We all know what is called graph book. Okay, now we all know what is called graph book. This is a graph book. Now everything you are to do must be here. How do I make use of this thing? How to plot graph. Now, before I relate with this question, how to plot graph, listen to me. How to plot graph. How to plot graph. Number 1, look at this graph. The first thing is, scale is already given. The person that sent this question has helped you to solve the question. One part of the question naturally solved. One part of the question is naturally solved. Now, the scale, this is the scale. 2 centimeters represents 30 degrees on x-axis. Now, it depends on what I want to do. If I want to do it, I can do it this way. Because I may not do it this way, because of what? The value number here are much, while the here are not much. I can decide to do it this way. But anyhow I'm doing it, wherever you are using, make sure you use your thick pencil. Your pencil well sharpened. It's good to use HP. Now, you can use your x-axis and draw it like this. Now, draw it and indicate x-axis and y-axis. This one will be x-axis, and this one will be what? Y-axis. It means I've turned it upside down. Now, it means on this part, it will be what? Y-axis, x-axis, and this part will be y-axis. Now, you can also do it this way, but it's good to do it because you are dealing with a larger value here to have a better drawing, and everything must be here. That's the first thing. Second thing, table of value must be here table, first I have to plot them first. One, table of values. Table of values on upper parts of the graph. Now, this is your table of value will just be here, can be here. That is very, very important. Only x and y. X and y. Just you have it this way and you have it this. X and y. Just have it like this. That's number one. Number two, what else you need to do is that follow the instruction that is given to you here. Very, very important. And because of we are talking about 180 degree, 0 to 180, and this one we are talking about the higher value determines here anyway. Now it means it's good to have it this way to have a better graph. Now follow what is given to you. Follow the scale. Follow number two. Follow the scale given on the question. That is number two. Number three, all you are has to find, everything you are has to find, you are talking about the value, the roots, this root, the value of everything must be indicated. All you are asked to find must be indicated on the graph. Now, don't just leave the graph like that. Everything you have to plot, everything you have to find on this question must be indicated on the what? On the graph. That is what you need to be doing, and make sure you have your very neat graph. Let's make sure your graph is very, very neat. How will you get a neat graph? Your pencil must be well sharpened and also determine your. Now, let me tell you something. The best way to get it. Okay, when I'm plotting this one, I will explain that. But those are the things you need to follow when you are plotting graph. Very, very important. Now, very, very important. Okay, when I have something like this, let me quickly try to play with this question so that you'll be able to understand what the question is saying. The first thing is, I want to generate my table. Now, the table, just like this is the table. I have my heads. The table is already given from the question. I just decided not to write it down. I have 30 degree. I have 0 degree. I have 60. I have 90. I have 120. I have 150. And 180. They are all in degree. Now, these are the things that I'm to work on. Now, please, you are looking at how to generate a table now. This is very first thing I will do. The second thing I will do is that I will have 2 sine 3x. That is, and this one will now be what? -1. These are the things that will generate my what? My y. Now, this one will now be what? Value of y. Naturally, I've told you that s is real. It means value of s will surely be given to you. It can be in form of range like this, or it can be in form of like this, depending on the question. But this is a y question. This is how the question will come. Normally, when I have to complete at the table, they give us -1. These are just like a hint, and 150 is 1 also. Now, they have given me 8. What I need to do, I want to generate the others. Now, I will pick up my calculator. The first one is 2 sine 3. Sine 3 is 0, which is sine is 0, which is 3 times 0 is what? Is 0, and sine 0 is what? Is 0. 0 times 2 is what? Is 0. I will also press it like this. 2 sine, can you see the way I'm pressing? 2 sine 3 multiplied by 30, which is, I will have it, now normally 3 times 30 is what? 90. Now sine 90 is always what? Now 3 times 30, which I'm not talking about 2 sine 3 bracket of 30, which I have 2 sine, which is going to be 90. Now, if I have sine 2 sine 90, let's see what will give us. I will have my 2 here. This is going to be 2. Now, that is going to be 2. Also, I will have sine, this one will now be what? 60. And here will be 180. Now, it means if I have sine 180 is 0, which is going to be 0, is 0, which is going to be what? Here will be 0. Now, also, I will have it, this one will be 90, which is 3 times 90, it will be 270. Now, sine 270, 2 sine 270, which is, I have it as minus 2. Now, the next one will be is 0, and the second one will be, we know that 180, and the other one will be 180 and 150, which will be 2, and this one will be what is 0. You can press your calculator like that. I don't need to stress myself since I know that. Now, this one is a what? Is arbitrary constant. Minus 1, minus 1, minus 1, minus 1, minus 1, minus 1, minus 1. Which means there's no anything that will affect it. Here is minus 1, very correct from the table. And here will be what? 1, very correct. And here will be minus 1. Here will be minus 3. Yes. Yes, that will be minus 3. And here will be minus 1. Here will be minus 1. Here will be 1. And here will be minus 1. That is the table I need to find. That is first one for this. I've done this. I've done this now. Now, the second part of it, the question, which is the question C, I must generate the table of this also. Which, how do I generate that one? It means this one is for what? Y equals to 2 sine 3x minus 1. Now, the second part of the question, which I'm talking about this table, y, okay. Now, I will also generate this x, and it will be like this. Now, this is a linear graph. Listen to me. This is a linear graph. It means it's a straight line graph. If you are asked to plot any straight line graph, what is very important for you is just the first value, first coordinate, and the last coordinate. It means I don't need to be expanding like this. If I were you, if I have my 0 and 180, I will have my answer. Because it's a straight line graph, first and the last. Once I have the points on the graph, I will just have the points on the graph, the first and the last. I will join the line together. That is all. That is how to plot a linear graph. Very simple and straightforward. Now, to add into it, if I want to do it, I can let me just add 90 to make it more, to generate more things. Now, we are talking about, do you know that if I have something like this, I can as well write this as y equals to 180, 1 over 180 bracket of x minus 360. I can as well write it as, if I can also write it as x all over 180 minus 2. This can be written like that. Yes, I can write that. Now, if I know have it this way, I can say that what here will be what x all over 180, and here will be minus 2, and I have my y value. Now, what I need to do now is 180, is 0 divided by 180. It surely be 0. Here will be 1. That will be 1 over 2. That will be 0.5, and here will be 1. And here will be minus 2, minus 2, minus 2. Now, and so on, which I will now have it in form of, this one will be minus 2.0. This one will be minus 1.5. This one will be minus 1. Now, that is the graph we are talking about. Now, since I know that I've generated my table of value, now how to go for my graph. how to plot graph. Now, other things, these are the things you put before your graph. This is before your graph, before your graph book. This is before your graph. I'm expecting you to put this table of value. Well, let it be very neat. Position it here and write it here. That is very important. Now, other things as far as this question is related, you must do others in the what? In the graph book. Now, let me just sketch. I won't plot. I'm supposed to use the graph board. We need your help. You can contribute to get the graph board in our studio here for that solution. Now, when I'm to plot my graph, this is how it always be. This is how it always be. Now, I think I'll write this in a part of the. Sorry, permit me to rub the table. Now, you can see how to generate the table now. You can see how to generate the table. Now, I have to rub everything because I will need. Now, I'm sketching because of what? This is a whiteboard. This is a whiteboard. It's supposed to be on a. Now, the first thing is, when I'm plotting my graph, I will put y equals to 2 sine 3x minus 1. This is the table 1, which I will have it in this form. Now, I'm sketching, I'm not plotting. For your information, 0 degree, 30 degree, 60 degree, 90 degree, 120 degree, 150 degree, 180 degree. Now, with your pencil, please, everything you are to do on the graph must be presented with a what? With a pencil. With a pencil. Very, very important. With a pencil. With a pencil. Everything, and make sure it's very neat. Now, I mean your pencil and your ruler must be at work. Now, the graph will just be like, this is going to be minus 1, 1, minus 1, minus 3, minus 1, 1, minus 1. That is very, very important. That is table 1. Table 2, you just have the y equals to x all over 180 minus 2. Now, I will just have in this form also. Now, this is my x, this is my y. I'm talking about, I wrote 0, 90, and 180. Now, it means I will be having minus 2.0, and this one will be what? Minus 1.01, and this one will be minus 1. Now, what is very important in the linear graph is the first and the last, which I've explained earlier because it's a straight line graph. Okay, first and the last. Very, very important. Now, how do I plot it? It will just go how to plot the graph. Don't forget your scale. Your scale is very important. Now, if I were you, one side of the graph, upper part of the graph, I will also put my scale. My scale, don't forget, I don't know, it can be one edge of the graph. On that white part, I'm referring to all these things I'm doing will be around here. Will be around here of the graph. It will be around here, so that somebody that is marking your paper will be able to see what you are doing. Make sure it's neat and well presented. Now, put your scale there also, which I will just put your scale. The scale will not be we're talking about. I think the man said, the person that said the question says 2 centimeter to 30 degree on x-axis and 1 centimeter to 1 unit on y-axis. Now, all these are expected to be here. Don't use your biro, please. Use your pencil. Use your pencil to have that here. Now it's now time. This thing is what will determine your graph. Is what will tell you what will be in your graph. Very, very important. Now, if I were you, I'm sketching. Please, I'm not plotting for your information. I'm sketching. Now, if I have my graph, now how do I go? Look at the highest value here. The highest value is 1. The lowest value is minus 1. Okay, what of here? The highest value is minus 1. The lowest value is what? Minus 2. Very, very important. It means on the positive of y, you have less number to play with. If I were you, I will have 1 centimeter represent 1 unit on y-axis. It means I'm not playing around with a large number here. I can flip the graph like this, which I have it like this. Now, here will now be what? X-axis. Here will now be y-axis. Take note of that. It means now to take that number, 2 centimeter, I will make it. Don't just pick up your biro, your pencil and plot. 2 centimeter. I have 1. Let me use another marker. I have 1. I have 0. From here to here is 1 centimeter. Do you get now? 1 centimeter represents 1 unit. And here will now be what? Minus 1. And here will now be minus 1. Okay, now here will be minus 2. And here will be minus 3. Now, can you see that at your phone, you now pick your pencil, your ruler, and rule this, and rule this and rule this. What you just need to do, pick up your ruler and rule here like that. Now, can you see that I've successfully generated my what? I can't just pick up my ruler and start picking. No, because of this, all what I need to do, it means I've ruled that point of what is 0. Now, the next thing I'm asked to do is that 30. Don't forget that 30 will now be, this one will be what? Is 0. Here will be, we are talking about 2 centimeter represent 37. Now, it means from here to here, it will be, now, we have 30 degree. We have 60 degree. We have 90 degree. We have 120 degree. We have 150 degree, and we have 180 degree. It goes like this. And now don't forget that now I'm sketching, I'm not plotting. Can you see that is how to do it? Don't just pick up your ruler and start ruling and ruling and ruling. Please make sure you rule from your origin. Now, first I do that finish, I will now plot my graph. How my graph will look like, which I don't know. Now, the first one is 0 to what? Minus 1. Is 0 to minus 1. This is going to be what? Minus 1. Is 0. When is 0? When this is 0, is minus 1. And the second one is 30 to 1. 30 to 1. I have my 30 to 1. I'm sketching, I'm not plotting, please. Now, what I need to do now, all these things will be, all these small holes can't, when we are plotting graph. Please take note of that. Now, from here to here is what? 2 centimeter. 10 of these holes make 2 centimeter. 5 of the holes make 5 centimeter. Take note of that. Now, also, I'll move on to the next one. 60 is in minus 1. 60 is in minus 1. Now, the next thing is, when you are talking about 90 is in minus 3. 90 is in minus 3. Now, 90 is in minus 3. Now, by so doing this, I'm plotting my graph. The next thing I'm asked to is, what else? I'm talking about 120 is in minus 1. 120 is in minus 1. And the next one is 150 is 150. Now, each of these are called coordinates. Coordinate 1, coordinate 2, coordinate 3, coordinate. Now, each of the coordinates generates a what? A point, which I have it in this form now. And the last one is 180 is in 90. I mean, is in minus 1. 180 is in minus 1. That is very one. Now, make sure it's neat. I will now get you. It's good to use French curve. I think tell your parents to buy French curve for you. It's very good to use French curve. But if you cannot use French curve, you can make use of you can make use of your broom or your graph. But French curve is the best to use. French curve is the best to use. Now, I will just move it in form of this. Let me use my red marker. Okay, let me use my black marker to generate my. Sorry, I'm sketching. I'm not plotting for information. Don't see me as the person that is plotting. I'm just sketching. I'm not plotting. I'm sketching. Now, that is how the graph. It means when you finish doing that, it's good to indicate by having y equals to 2 sine 3x minus 1. Make sure you indicate it on this graph like this. Now, it means you are interpreting the graph. The next thing you need to do now, I want to plot this graph now. This graph is, okay, I want to plot this graph. Don't forget the first and the last. When I have a 0, I'm having it in form of minus 2. I will point it like this. Now, when I have 90, I'm having minus 1.5. This is 1.5. It will be somewhere here. And 90, it means it will be here. Now, when I have my 180 is in minus 1. My 180 is in minus 1. It means it will be here. It will be here. 180 and minus 1. Now, what is very important in a linear graph is the first and the last. What is my first? This is my first, and this is my last. I will now get my ruler, and what? The ruler will help you out here. I'm sketching. Sorry for information. I'm sketching. I'm not plotting. Sorry for my hand is not straight. Sorry about that. Sorry, I need to manage it. Now, I have my what? This is my interpret also. Interpret somewhere that what? We are talking about x all over 180 minus 2, which is my y, equals to that. Now, it means I've successfully interpret the line on the graph. That is the first and the second graph. The next thing you are asked to do, you are asked to find the value of what? Now, if I were you are looking for the value of x and y, look at this. Anywhere you have this, indicate it like this. And also, oh, sorry. Now, the value here, that is your question. What you are having here and your x here, interpret it. That is your question to number D, which is D2. Now, it means D2. Now, the value you are having there, your graph, that will give you a perfect line, which is, I'm sketching for information. Graph will give you your perfect line. Whatever you are having here, just put it at that. That is your what? Coordinate. That is your coordinate. I mean, it's your point. That is point of intersection. It means your s is equals to your degree. It will be in form of like, this one will be like 80 or 75 point something, and so on and so forth. Now, the root, how will you get the root? Anywhere it cut off the s-axis. S-axis here, and here are the roots. It means this is root 1, root 2. I'm sketching, I'm just putting this in root 3 and root 4. That is your root. That is your root. That is where that is root. It means this one will be what? D2. I mean D1. The answer for D1 is your. That is all you need to do on. Now, that's all what I can explain for now on trigonometry graph. Once again, you are home with further solutions academy. Further Solutions Academy. Encourage us more to share our video and also subscribe if you have not subscribed. Once again, thanks for watching.